Zentangle friends. My name is Emmy. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. Today we are working in week 2 of our January 2026 challenge, and it's January 13th. Now, here I am with another word that I can't say. Chitiems? Chitiems? I hope that you'll be able to sort it out and work with me and have just a little bit of fun with the name of this. So, as you know, we're in the fragment of your imagination, and I thought just for the fun of it, before we get started with this cool pattern, that I would pull our fragments book out for us again. Look how these are all just little bits and parts. So the idea is that you will take these little bits and parts and put them together. Here's 1A, and if you wanted to do 5G, well, let's just say you did. And so you would go over here and then down here to the G's, and they're all different. They're all just as unique as Zentangle is. On the page before, here's one called F2, and look how they've done that. Each one is a fragment by itself, and then if you put it together, you have something new and different. But while I was looking, and I thought you might be interested in this too, look how they've used these fragments as a border and repeating on each side and then changing them off and coming around, and it makes it just fun. And you can certainly see how you can make this your own. Of course, Maria is just a wonderful, extraordinary artist. And so she's given us so many ways to do things beyond what you and I can even imagine. But good for a starter, huh? Alrighty, so this is a 2x2, or it is actually a tile that's a bijou. I'm going to put little pencil dots in the corner. I'm not going to go wall to wall on this. I'm going to connect them wonky style, which means not Mary Poppins perfect. She doesn't live here. And then I want to show you how the tangle goes. You can take this from corner to corner or corner to corner. It doesn't matter. For our activity, we're just learning and studying a new tangle to add, a new fragment tangle to add to our repertoire. I'm going to take a corner out of this, maybe like this, like a big lazy C. Just like that. So one of the corners I want to put a pie shape in, or actually it was already a pie shape, and I just want to take a little bit out of it. So what we're supposed to do is just darken this in. That's the suggestion. It's not a big area, so I don't even think I have to switch over my pen size. I think I got this. Just like that. Now, the other side, Gildo, who is the founder of this Gildo Sobrino, is suggesting that what we want to do with this is divide this side up. So I'm going to make a long division mark, and then I'm going to radiate my division marks out either way. And of course, just like always, it's independence here. You can start this where you want it and end it where you want it. I always find if I alternate like this that my work is a little more even. It sounds a little strange, but it works for me. So you can see how if you put several of these together, how you would come up with a really unique kind of a fun fragment that you could fill in and alternate the sides and things like that. Well, what I'm going to do next is a tiny bit of shading on here because I think it needs it. So I'm going to shade here, and I'm going to shade down here. little shade here and a little shade here. So that's pretty much just a little darkening. Kind of go around it just a bit in the nicest, softest way, just to soften these lines out. That makes this look a little more indented, right? So the only thing I really don't like is when I get that tiny little white line. And that just means I have to go over this one more time. That's okay. Plenty of shade on my blender stump. So I'm able to just go around this piece without even having to get any more of my graphite out. Just soften this line. So I think it's important that we do a little bit of play. So I'm going to turn my page over, this sweet little thing that we're doing here. And I have already set it up like this. So put me on pause just for a minute while you set yours up and let's play. Okay, if you've had time to set this up, I am going to, and I'm leaving a little space between these just so that I can have a little bit of difference. You see, I'm working with pen. I feel like this is pretty small here. And then the other side too. Divide it and divide it. So I have deliberately left these space lines so that each one of these will be a unit to itself, but it will be able to demonstrate to me at a future time how I can use this very fun pattern. Yeah, it's a little bit short, but I think it'll be okay. I hope you do too. Okay, so if I wanted to be creative, first let's build the basic pattern, which is to have a pie in the corner of one of the curved lines, and darken your pie. And let's just get the hang of this all the way around. Okay, so I thought that maybe on this side I would put my sticks just the opposite of the pie side. You see I'm putting a little bit of a wavy line at the bottom of my sticks. And then I'll come over here and I'll do the same thing all the way around. This is very relaxing. And I think it's very forgiving too, don't you? And one more. And close this up. So even so far, now that was Gildo's pattern. If I wanted to go a little further, which I do, I'm going to put some radiating lines in here, like following the curve, kind of like that. It might be, as you can see, a little different on one than the other. Follow the curve. And again, let's look and see what we've created. That is very fun all by itself. You could tighten some of these lines down if you wanted, or wait, what about if you filled this whole thing up with orbs? Like this. Look at, they're going to start bouncing off each other. That's okay too. Just let them bounce. Maybe you'll decide to darken behind a few. Okay. This is fun. So you can darken behind all of them, or just one of them, or not at all. So, you know, just like in life, we have so many wonderful choices. So I'm going to finish mine and let you finish yours. And so go ahead and pause me or whatever. That was fun for a very snowy afternoon here where I live. And I am going to sign this because I am very proud of it. I think this is very fun. I hope you like yours too. There is a tiny bit of shading to do. So I'm going to come along here like this where the line is on each of them. And I'm also going to put a really deep line under here. Not so much going on in there. A little bit at the bottom maybe of each. Depends on how large your orbs are, whether you'd be able to do a little more with that. Have a little bit of a smile in a few of those. You just have to look and say, well, I want to add that, or it doesn't matter to me. Shading is not for everyone. This we all know. But it can add a lot of luster to your piece if you like it. So circular motion with your shading is the best. Kind of depends on the quality of your paper, how much graphite you're going to be able to move around and push into your paper. Kind of just, you know, you have to just kind of go with the flow of it. A little bit more here, and then we'll have an evaluation. Let's see what we got going. See how we like it. I think it's amazing, don't you? So if I put, and I might have enough graphite on here. Yeah, I have enough graphite that I can just darken a little bit of the larger ones with my tortillon or blender stomp and not do too much here. Yeah, I like that. Look at how that's just adding a tiny bit. So I'm going to get over to this fun piece. And I have a section with 4, and I want to put this in one of those sections. So I'm going to turn my work upside down so it's easy for me to reach and you to see. And I feel like I need to do the basic pattern over here, although this is my work and I can easily change my mind. It's already got 4. It's just perfect setup for me. So I am going to, now maybe I feel like I need to divide this. I think that might be cool on this square, just to add an extra little division piece. And then they'll each just stand alone even a tiny bit more. So I'm going to put my angle around my circle like that. And then I'm going to divide this in half. Make a pie out of 1/2 of that circle. Do that on each of the 4 sides. This is a very small piece. It won't need, I don't even necessarily feel like I need to turn my paper. Divide and divide and make sure it's on the right side of each one. There we go. And now that I've got that, on the other side, the pie side has nothing. The other side has the angled lines. And I'm going to do that little wonky thing at the bottom there again. I'm going to see about turning my work and make sure you can still see what I got going on. Here you go. You can see it. Okay, you know that I've got this. The pie, or the sticks go in the other side, or radiating diagonal lines would be a better way to say it. My goodness, Emmy. You're so funny. Okay, and I don't feel I need to turn my work here. It's at an angle I can understand. Don't forget this one too. And here, it's easy to see what I have going on. I hope you can see it. There we go. And those lines that have a bit of a wave to them. I'm going to darken the rest all the way around. And I have such a nice keepsake out of this. There we go. How pretty is this? Thank you so much for working with me. I really enjoyed spending a little time with you today. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.